Hey, this is Logan Meister. I'm the assistant coach for the men's wrestling program here at Ferrum College. And today we are in the big green weight room. This is where our student athletes train to become All-Americans and achieve their goals. Today, we're going to go over a few exercises that I think transfer very well to wrestling and that have helped me personally improve my results on the mat. I think that wrestling is a very difficult sport to train for a few reasons. One of those being the movements that we're doing inside of the wrestling room, out in matches during competition. They're very hard to replicate in the weight room using barbells, dumbbells, etc. Another challenge is that wrestling requires the use of all of our energy systems. Wrestling requires a lot of power, strength, muscular endurance, and cardiovascular endurance. Thirdly, and probably the most difficult challenge, is training while managing your weight. And that might be a topic for another time. When we're wrestling, we're using a lot of our legs, our hips, a lot of our back for pulling, core obviously, and I like to work on stability in our joints to prevent injuries because we're getting put in all kinds of weird positions when we're wrestling. So today we're going to go over my favorite power exercise that I think translates well to wrestling, my favorite leg exercise, my favorite pulling movement, and a shoulder stability exercise that we do to help strengthen our shoulders. The power movement we're going to go over today is a variation of the medicine ball slam. This variation is going to simulate a snap down, which is probably creates most of the scoring opportunities at the highest levels, along with the single leg, even at the collegiate and international levels. So this is going to be a very important movement for us wrestlers. It's good power for the core and for your back muscles. All right, for this movement, you want to use the same lead leg that you use when you're wrestling. If you're a right leg lead, you're going to use your right leg. If you use both, like I do, you can simply just do this exercise on both legs, just so you get that muscle memory and that movement and that power on both sides when you're switching your stance. So we're going to start off with our med ball here right at our hips. Now our first movement is going to be dropping into a split stance, lead leg forward. Here, bringing the ball over our head, nice and stable in this foot. And right when I get here, I'm bouncing up, slamming this ball down through the floor, bringing my core in tight, and then I'm switching my stance. I need to get this lead leg out of the way. Right, so just like when we're wrestling, we don't want to snap that guy into our leg so they can get an easy attack. This is a good way to practice changing our hips. So again, med ball at the hips, drop, explode. One more time. And there is your snap down med ball slam. All right, the leg exercise we're going to go over today is a combination of two movements. We have a walking lunge and a box step up. So our first movement, we're taking a step into our lunge. When we do this step, we want to reach, plant our weight down right in the middle of our foot, not on our toes, not on our heels. And when we go down into this position, one thing to look out for is where your knee is located. If you look down at your knee and it is over your toes, that's too far. If it's behind your heels, it's not quite far enough. So we want to get somewhere in between the shoelaces and the toes. So we're taking our lunge, keeping that core tight, and then we're driving up. We're going to plant on the box and then drive across. So give you another look here using the bench. We're taking our step, lunge step, our back foot's coming up, plants. When it plants on the bench, I'm driving through this bench, trying to put my foot through the floor and exploding up, bringing my back knee up. So we'll grab our dumbbells, give a couple reps. Lunge, step, explode. Lunge, explode. And those are your dumbbell lunge to a step up. My favorite back exercise for wrestling is the pull-up. Now, most of you guys have probably already done a pull-up before, but we're going to go over a few things to make your pull-up a little bit better. One big mistake that people make is they don't engage their core. which leaves an arch in their spine. So we want to protect our spine, engage our core, keeping our abs really tight throughout the whole movement. 2 is creating tension in your shoulders. Okay, when you grab that pull-up bar, you want to be trying to bend the bar together here to rotate your elbows in. This is going to protect your shoulders throughout the movement. And 3, we see a lot of people trying to kick their way up into the pull-up. Unless you're going for a maximum amount of reps in a certain amount of time, it's just not effective for building strength in your lats. So we're going to work on strict pull-ups today. All right, I'm going to show you a couple of good reps just so you get an idea of what they look like. We get up on that bar, we're going to rotate our shoulders in, get that tension, bring our core nice and tight, and we're pulling the bar down to our chest. We'll make sure our chin gets over the bar every time. Now, if the strict pull-ups are too challenging, I suggest grabbing a resistance band, tying it on the pull-up bar, hook it on one of your feet, just to help you get through that motion. We want to try and avoid kicking up into the pull-up. That's not going to help us build any strength in our back. If the pull-up is not challenging enough, we can add weight. And I like to put the weight in between my toes to challenge my core a little bit more. Now it looks something like this. And that's your strict pull-up. All right, the next exercise we're going to work on are the ITYWs. I used to do these a lot in rehab after I got shoulder on my surgery. These build up a lot of the muscles in our rotator cuff to help strengthen them and keep us from getting injured. So we're going to grab our dumbbells. Here our first movement is the I. We're keeping our arms straight and pulling our dumbbells back behind our body, making an I. So you're going to do all your reps for your I first, then you move into the T, keeping your arms straight, bringing the dumbbells out to the side, making a T shape. Then you're going to do all your reps of your T before you move on to the Y, where we're going thumbs up, about a 45-degree angle on each side, bringing the weight up. And the last part, the W's, this is the hardest part of the exercise. We're bringing the dumbbells from our shoulder, extending out in the Y position, and bringing them back here for our W's. And those are your ITYWs, help straighten up those shoulders.